A wonderful exchange of ideas about how to participate in this great phenomenon that's going on in Equatorial Guinea.
And why is it important to know what's going on economically in Equatorial Guinea right now?
There are lots of reasons why this meeting was important. One of them is to make sure that American businesses get a chance to sit at the table that so many other jurisdictions are taking advantage of. The Chinese, as you heard from a number of the speakers, the Chinese are there in big, big numbers, both in terms of people, but also in terms of the quantity of funds and capital that they're bringing. The Brazilians are beginning to come, even the Russians, and certainly the Turks. So everyone is focused on Equatorial Guinea because there's a lot going on there and a lot of opportunity. The U.S. businesses should take advantage of those opportunities as well.
And that said, businesses in the United States taking advantage of it. If I'm a business or I'm a person who owns a business or has a business, tell me why I should invest in Equatorial Guinea.
Well, if you like investing in the petrochemical sector, there are very few countries where the returns on your investment are as good as they are in Equatorial Guinea. Oil companies, large oil companies, see some of their absolute best returns come from small Equatorial Guinea as opposed to their investments in much larger jurisdictions.
Okay. And you mentioned a sector or two. Would you elaborate on maybe 2 to 3 sectors that you feel are exciting places where the economy is growing in wonderfully progressive ways in Equatorial Guinea?
It's hard to limit it to 2 or 3.
As many as
Yeah. Certainly there's the oil sector. There's still a lot of opportunity to drill. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I have a bit of allergies. There's lots.
Just take that from the beginning, that's all.
Okay. Sorry about that. There are a number of sectors in Equatorial Guinea that are ripe for investment and where the opportunities are very exciting. One of them is the oil sector. Despite the fact that they've now been producing oil for well over 20 years, there's acreage where they haven't explored yet. So there is great opportunity to find and produce new oil. There's lots of new opportunity in the midstream. That is where you beneficiate the oil that you produce. And one of the great and sort of surprising things about a small country like that is that they're prescient enough to know that they should be beneficiating their own products as opposed to sending them somewhere and buying refined products later. In addition, there's agriculture. There's great arable land, substantial amount of land given that there's a relatively small population. So there's great opportunity in the agriculture business, telecommunications, electricity.
And would you just touch base, if you could, on the location of Equatorial Guinea and how that plays into its fiscal expansion?
Well, you know, a number of the ministers mentioned today the strategic placement of Equatorial Guinea, and it truly is, both from the standpoint of the mainland, but also the island. They are in the midstream of important shipping trade that goes up and down the coast of Africa and to the U.S. So investing in opportunities in Equatorial Guinea also allows you quite easy access to other African markets right there in the neighborhood. They have the most strategic location of any country on the west coast of Africa.
And for our purposes, you spoke today about the benefits of the financial system. Could you just touch base on a few points?
Well, it's a relatively small system, quite liquid. I mean, the government of Equatorial Guinea has been very, very fiscally sound. I apologize. I just cannot. Sorry about that.
I apologize. Not at all. Are you kidding? Been talking all day, like you said.
I'm just glad I didn't do this all day. Save the best for last. So I'll start from the beginning.
Benefits of the financial system.
The benefits of the financial system is that, as I had mentioned, the financial system there is quite liquid, simply because the government has a relatively small population and are making a lot of money. So there's lots of capital to invest and to deposit in the financial system there. The banks are flush with cash and are capable of investing capital in projects on behalf of new partners.
Fantastic. And if there's anything else you'd want to add with regard to, as I was mentioning before, encouraging American business to come the way of Equatorial Guinea?
Well, the best thing that I can say about how relevant Equatorial Guinea has become and how sort of it is on a trajectory that's unbelievable is that I first went there in 1997 actually, and the country had only just started to produce oil. So there was no accumulation at that time of wealth. And so there was very little infrastructure. And when I say very little infrastructure, I mean very few roads, no hotels. And so you could not have imagined that from 1996 to now, where you see highways and byways and five-star hotels and education and hospitals. They have moved much quicker than their peers. And you know, I love all of Africa, but as a matter of fact, Equatorial Guinea is moving in leaps and bounds.